Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
Yeah, let's get to the motherfucking money. Welcome, guys, to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's Tuesday, which means we have us ribeyes with Mike to hold you over on some hitting props as well as the pitching props I'm going to break down. So enough small talk, guys. We got a stacked card. Let's get to the monies. This show is not sponsored by no one. We're doing this out of our own generosity, so I do appreciate those who have found their way over to my channel, as this show is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific. On the show, guys, we talk the opening lines of pitching props as well as the closing K-prop line 30 minutes prior to this show going live. So do me a favor, if you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. As we all know, fellas, Angel Hernandez has retired. So, throughout today's show, we will be playing a few clips of that bum being a bum, as we got one of the blindest umps gone. But before we start playing videos of Angel Hernandez, guys, we got to talk of some puppies. We all like puppies, right, guys? We just don't like being on the same side as them titty cappers. But they got to win sometimes, right? Let's talk about him. Tyler Glasnow at the Mets, striking people out this year 33.5% of the time, while walking people 6.5% on the year. Morning line was 7.5, minus 115 on FanDuel. Now the best line available to that 7.5, still on FanDuel, but at a minus 140 to the over. Pitching out 17.5, minus 179 juice to the over, whereas earned runs are at a 1.5, minus 165 juice to the over as well. Lineup is out, 5 lefties, 4 righties. The umpire is out as well. We've got Jeremy Riggs, and he is a neutral umpire. Glasnow gets the Mets, guys, who over the last 15 days, they're walking below league average, striking out 24% of their at-bats with a top 8 isolated power. So as always, let's go see who they've seen in this time span that I would bet on. As Jordan Hicks went 5 innings with 8 punch-outs. Granted, I got in live because CB Buckner was behind the plate, a la Angel Hernandez type guy, and they can't hit a splitter, guys. So he was able to get him to 2 strike counts with some help of the ump, and he had himself a day. Tristan McKenzie, 5 innings, 5 punch-outs. Aaron Nola win a complete game with 8 strikeouts, and that's all they've seen, guys, that I would bet on. So I'd actually say their numbers are actually worse than what they say they are, as the only one they even got to, guys, was Tristan McKenzie for 3 runs. As their 24% strikeout rate should be worse as well, is who have they seen? Not one guy who has a K percentage over 25% this year, let alone Glasnow, who is one of the top strikeout pitchers in the game. Now, Glasnow is coming off of back-to-back games, not going past 5 innings. Now, I was worried about him being caught, guys, 10 days ago with some form of sticky substance. We talked about it last week. It happened in the Reds game. And then he almost got tossed in that Reds game, didn't. And came back out versus the D-backs, guys, and he got hit hard with just 6 punch-outs. So I go look at his spin and velo from his last start, guys. His spin is fine, yet his slider and curve were down 1.3 miles per hour from where it has been all year. So right now is a fucking basket case to me, guys. Like, who are we getting? Because I want in on the over, guys, as I look at the past history in this projected lineup. We have 7 guys with at least 7 at-bats, upwards to 19. And we got a lineup striking out 34% of the time versus Glasnow. That is one of the highest past history K percentages in a lineup, guys, that you're going to see with that many amount of bats that these guys have. But it's a little skewed, as Nimmo, McNeil, and Bader have only struck out 4 of their 30 at-bats, while Martinez, Marte, Lindor, and Alonso have struck out 22 of their 47. Those are 4 of the top 5 guys right there, guys, that they already knew was going to be in that lineup. Now, the problem with me guys, is why the fuck did we get a 7.5 that with bettable juice to open up versus a 34% strikeout rate versus this lineup versus a team who's striking out 24%? It just doesn't add up to me, guys. It just seems like the books are begging for one-way traffic. Now, does it always hit? No. They did the same shit with Hugh Darvish, guys, where it kept me off. I'll just stay off when I see this type of crap if I can't get and understand it, because everything tells me, unless he's cheating, he should go out and have a fucking day today. But the books are freaking begging you to say he's going to go have a day, and I don't do what the books do. I figure out what they're asking for, and if I can't figure it out, I let it be. And in this spot, guys, I don't get it. The past history says bang him. The K percentage says bang him. These guys versus some of these breaking balls says bang them. And at the end of the day, we get a low light number, which to me tells me, nah, Sharpie, nothing in life is free. And I'm content leaving this one be, as I'm not going to look to go under just because I'm seeing the books want over money. Like I said, I saw this with Darvish. Darvish went out and had himself 9 or 10 versus the Braves when they were giving us plus money on a 5.5 versus the same type of situation. Now, for the most part, it goes the other way. Darvish was an outlier, but I'm not trying to guess who's wrong, who's right. I'm seeing what the books are doing, and I want no fucking part of it. That's what I'm getting at, fellas, is they're begging for over money. I want to go over. And this should have opened at a 7.5 minus 150, if not a 8.5 at plus money. And go back through his last 8 games. He's 6-2 to this over, guys. He's averaging 8.5 strikeouts a game. Everything is screaming this should be the easiest bet. Go watch fucking Twitter. Pull up Tyler Glasnow, and you're going to see nothing but over 7.5 strikeout money. The books are a billion-dollar company, guys. You don't want to be on the side that everyone and their mother's on every fucking time. Now, do the titty cappers hit sometime? Yeah, they do, guys. And if you're gonna bet Glasnow, take him to 9 or 10, because he should easily end on 10 versus this lineup. I wouldn't pay no juice, but I'm not gonna fuck around to find out. As like I said, guys, if I think something's up, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna head for the hills and run. And this one don't add up to me, fellas. Next guy on the board, which is kind of frustrating right now, guys, because I bet him, and the line's dropping, and I'm seeing some rain, and I don't get why the line's dropping, but let's fucking talk him. Tarek Skubal versus the Pirates, striking people out at a 31% clip while walking people 4.5% on the year. They opened them up, guys, at 7.5 minus 125 on DraftKings, and now you can get a 6.5 minus 158 on FanDuel. Pitching outs are not available, which is a fucking sign that I don't like to see. Earned runs is 1.5 minus 125 juice to the under. Projected lineup is 8 righties, 1 lefty. Wouldn't be surprised if Cruz does get sat, as that's what they have been doing for the most part versus lefties. Umpire is announced as well for this. It is Doug Eddings, and he is a neutral umpire as well as the last guy. Skubal, guys, he gets the Pirates, who over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties are not walking, striking out 24.5% of the time with a top 3 isolated power. Now, I don't care about their K percentage, guys. It's starting to come back to what we know the Pirates versus good lefties are. I do care about this bullshit-ass top 3 isolated power, guys. Is who you been beating up on. Sure as fuck ain't been my guys. As in these numbers, guys, they've only seen 2 of my guys. Shota went 7 innings of no-run ball while striking out 7, and we were on Chris Sale over the weekend, who just cashed us that over 7.5 on of his last batter, where he went 7 innings, 1-run ball while striking out 8. Now, those are the guys I'd bet, as they cracked open Snell, but who hasn't done that this year, and they smacked Steele around. Well, I played Steele yesterday, guys, and I cashed him in the 4th inning. Pittsburgh has smacked him around every time he has seen him. He's never had more than 6 strikeouts versus that team. They just have his number. That's baseball, fellas. Now, we can even go back 2 more days past these numbers, fellas, and Patrick Sandoval, a guy I wouldn't look to bet on, went 7 innings of no-run ball with 7 punch-outs. So can you see where I'm going here? As no matter who they put in this lineup, I have Skubal for 7.25 to 7.75 strikeouts on a bad day. So I get it if you pulled the trigger on the over, as that's the only way to look, guys, is we have 7 guys who could punch out, with 5 of them more than once. As I said the same thing with Sale, guys, and the 2 tough guys is Joe and Olivares. They had 0 punch-outs versus Sale. And Olivares has only struck out 1 of 14 times versus Skubal, so you can count that as a big fat 0 too. And guys, I still want some of this, guys, as I get Joe and Olivares can be an issue. That's fine. Everybody else in this lineup is for the freaking pickings. So, I already got in, guys, as I have a single game parlay at plus 102. You'll get way better money than where I got it at. But once again here, guys, I don't sell pipe dreams. I tell you what I'm on. And Team Sharpie, which is about 20 other motherfuckers, we bet that shit this morning, and they watched the show too. They'd call my ass out if I was giving you a bunk-ass line. This line's gone against me, guys. I got plus 102 by pulling Skubal down to 7 strikeouts, as well as taking the team total of the Pirates under 3.5. I do believe this correlates, guys, as they've scored 1 run in 14 innings off of my 2 studs in the last 200 plate appearances, and I don't expect nothing else to change. I expect 6 to 7 quality innings from Tarek Skubal, while averaging at least a strikeout per inning. Now, can he have 8 strikeouts through 6 innings? You fucking right he can. But he could also end up freaking running his ass through a grinder and his count being down. So the only reason why it's freaking dropping is the rain. And I went and looked at the rain earlier, and it showed there might be some rain at the beginning of the game. And then it was going to push off and be fucking just fine for the rest of the day. So, I should probably check my messages, because usually Mike M's in here by now, which means he probably didn't get my shit. Okay, he did get it. So that means, guys, that the weather may have changed, and we're going to pull that up, and we're going to check it fucking right here, because that's important to me right now. Got to figure out what are they seeing. 24-hour radar, zoom up. We're going to get there. All right, Tuesday, 3:04. It is starting to play. Okay. Right around game time, we have some rain. They should push it off some. And then it opens freaking wide up, guys. So if they, okay, in the morning at 4:30, a giant storm comes. At the beginning of the game, like this is just what I was seeing earlier. I'm not worried about this. If they need to push this game back 30 minutes for them to start it, they will. They have plenty of room to get this game in tonight. Yeah. Sharpie's not worried. Let me talk to you, fellas. So, I don't get why it's going. People are obviously dropping it down, betting it like they did Sale, guys. No pitcher has gotten more than 7.5 versus the Pirates all year long. Who the fuck have they faced, fellas? That's what I gotta say. So, yeah, sign me up for old Scoob Nasty, guys. I'm on the 7+ with the team total under 3.5. I believe those are both freaking solid bets. They correlate. Skubal should have a day. Pass it on off to his bullpen. And, yeah, Jones, just get in line. Just get in line, Jones. Well, as soon as Mike M pops on, I'll know he's here, and then we can talk of some hitting props. But until then, we started this show off talking about Angel Hernandez retirement day. It's just not going to be right if we don't show a few clips of the bum himself.
Called strike 3, and Schwarber is thrown
issue with getting thrown out. Making it very clear. You've missed him inside, outside, up and down. Kyle Schwarber thrown out.
That's got to be like my favorite one, though. I mean, that was recent. That was only last year. But Kyle Schwarber opened up a can of whoop ass on them fellas. Let me talk to you. All right, fellas, do me a favor. If you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. I was going to get into some hitting props, but his camera looks like not to be on. But, you know, he looks to be resetting it back up and doing all that crap, trying to get his internet to work. So until then, we'll go talk us a little more pitching. Freddie Peralta, guys, versus the Cubs, striking people out this year 31% of the time while walking people 8%. Morning line was 7.5, even money on DraftKings, to where you can now get plus 105 to that 7.5 and DraftKings still. Pitching out 17.5, minus 135 juice to the over, whereas earned runs are at 1.5, minus 130 juice to the over as well. Projected lineup for your Cubbies is 5 righties and 4 lefties. Peralta gets the Cubs, guys, who we seen back on May 5th, where he went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, and struck out just 5. Yet the man had 6 walks. Now, when we look at the numbers over the last 15 days, they're tops in the league in walk percentage, striking out near 27% of their at-bats, and bottom 8 in isolated power. When we look at their numbers when he faced them back on May 5th, the isolated power and K percentage were still bad, yet they were only walking league average. So a team who walked league average had 6 walks versus you, and now is walking best in the league over the last 15 days. Yikes. So let's go see who they've seen in that time span that we would bet on. And we know they had a back-to-back with the Pirates kids, as Jones went 6 innings in both games, had 4 and 7 strikeouts depending on the game, and 0 to 2 walks. With it, the no-walk game, guys, being the game that he did put up 7. They seen Skeens, who went 4 innings with 7 strikeouts. Then he backed it up with 6 innings and then 11 punch-outs with not walking more than 2 in a game. Charlie Mimo, guys, had back-to-backs with them, getting waxed the first game. And then in the second game, went 5 innings with 8 punch-outs and still walked 4. Now, when I go back 15 days, guys, the first game of the back-to-back with the Pirates kids are not in these numbers, as they fall right after the time of these numbers. So all in all, guys, they've seen Jones put up 7, Skeens put up 11, while Morton had a good game and a bad game. So 3-1 to the over on guys I would bet in the last 15 days. So we can get old Freddie P, guys. Is this the question? Can we bet this over? As we will get a better number if we wait for the lineups to come out, as they do not have Madrigal in this lineup, and I expect to see him out there. A great contact guy who doesn't whiff at a fastball or a slider, and in his 7 at-bats versus Freddie Peralta has not struck out. Now, the projected lineup now says this should be a 7.5, as 8 of the 9 people have seen Peralta at least 5 at-bats, up to 27, combining in 97 at-bats. And Peralta striking them out at a nasty 32% of the time. Yet before I get in, guys, I would like to see the lineup construction to see if we do get Madrigal in it, as the K percentage is bad versus Peralta lifetime. Yet there are guys who have good numbers, as Horner has only struck out 3 of his 18 at-bats, as well as Swanson 2 of his 12. You add in Madrigal in it, guys, and we're looking at a different K percentage all around, as he could take the place of Bush, who has struck out 4 of his 5 at-bats. And, yeah, this one is super important to wait for lineups. If anything, I don't see it going up in juice too much. If anything, it drops a whole number like the last guy that we are going to talk about today. And it's already dropped a number. And I pretty much figured out why they were going to drop it if he was put in the game. And that, to me, is telling me that the dude is in the game. This right here, guys, is saying Madrigal is not in the lineup at a 7.5. Once Madrigal gets put into the lineup, if he's in there today, this thing is going to a 6.5 with juice. So, know how the lines are going to move. Know what type of players can move the lineup. I mean, it's not too hard, guys. They give us all these free sites. I don't use many sites. I use Fangraphs. I use Swish Analytics. I use Covers. I mean, I think that's all. And Fangraphs. Those are the only sites I use. They're all free, guys. It's not like the information ain't given out there to us. It's our job to take advantage of the information. And speaking of information, we get to talk us some hitting props. But before we do, we got to play another video to the man who retired.
3-2 pitch. It's low and in. Ball. Oh, they said he went around. He's going to be out of this game if he keeps this up. He is out of this game. I got to tell you, naked eye, he did not swing at that. Dusty's going to stand in.
We're sure going to miss us some Angel Hernandez moments, fellas. We really are. This guy gave us entertainment in baseball, guys, okay? Entertainment. It's not my fault that Megalodon Mike over here happens to be a Phillies fan, and all the good Angel Hernandez clips happen to be versus the Phillies. But who cares? We're going to jump into what most of you guys jump in here for on these Tuesday segments. And when I have my Friday ones, they're like, where's the ribeyes? Where's the ribeyes? Well, they're on their way, fellas. They're on their way.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
That's a 70-foot shark, bro.
70-footer.
Man, how you like Angel Hernandez? I mean, the best clip ever was the first one, bro. Was the Kyle Schwarber one.
Oh,
Kyle Schwarber, just like it was great. Oh man!
I saw a stat the other day that most tossed player in Major League Baseball right now is Bryce Harper. They were like, "What do you think about that?" I said, "I'm not surprised. He's always got something to say about how that strike zone's being called." So it is what it is, Sharpie. Hopefully you can hear me all right, my guy. I'm technologically challenged right now. This camera the last couple of days has to probably do with the system update, but they can slow us down, but they can't shut us down. You know what I'm saying, my guy?
You damn right, bro. They can't. They cannot.
So we'll pivot back to the iPad, good old Apple technology to get us rolling, Sharpie. But I got a 4-pack today, and I like this little spot here. I think there's going to be some unique angles to try to get her done. So we're going to try to leverage alternate technology today to bust into these hitting props. But let's start our spots here. Let's go to this. Oh, shit. Let me pull this up real quick as we're talking about it here. Can't keep everybody waiting for us here. We got to get it moving, and get it moving we will here. I'm going to open her up. I'm going to talk about this first game on the card for me today. We're going to go to good old B-More here. We're trying to get this Baltimore O's team in the groove. And we got to start with our guy, Adley Rutschman here. Why not give Rutschman an opportunity to get her done? He's starting to heat up slowly but surely. You know, the thing with these bats when it comes to Baltimore, you know, ups and downs. Kind of the same thing with Boston. We see these guys kind of get hot in bunches here, but Brian Bellows, the guy that we're going to take a stab at today. And, you know, I think the big thing is a lot of these hitters going in there on the consistent, trying to figure it out. They kind of, I don't want to say they melt down, but they need a break, you know, and we saw that. Where did they give him the break? They gave it to him on Friday against that White Sox team. They said, you know, win, lose, or draw, Adley, grab a seat, get ready to go. And then what does he do after that? He comes back Saturday, blah. Sunday, he goes out there 2 for 4, 2 home runs, big win on them White Sox. Then he rolls in there the next series against this very Red Sox team, 1 for 4. But he got 2 ribbies in that spot there. That was a game that the O's busted up them Boston Red Sox here. And I think it's a good spot to roll back to him here. Yeah, he doesn't have the greatest numbers against Bello, but let's not forget, Bello's still a new guy in the equation. We got a 165 here to open the card up, a plus 165. Our guy Adley going to be out there coming in just off a couple of days of rest there and coming in fire and seeing the ball clearly again. I think it's a good opportunity to get Brian Bello right by the short hairs, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, I definitely know what you're saying, my guy. Let's go little Adley, brother. What's on to the next?
Adley, all right, let's roll on out. Let's go to Cincinnati. Speaking of a guy that needed a little bit of a break, took a little bit of an issue with the wrist for our guy here to try to get things back in the groove. But positive news here. The Cardinals-Reds game, all the x-rays came back negative for our guy Jake Fraley. And, you know, come Friday, what do they say? David Bell, the GM, comes in. He says, look, Jake is fully recovered. He's ready to return to action. And, he still hasn't quite gotten back to form. Maybe he has to see himself do it before he believes he can do it type of thing. It's mental, I think, in this case for this guy, but comes back in the lineup against the Dodgers. Wasn't needed. They beat up on them Dodgers. Those players got touched up real good out there, but they got him in the 5th position out there, and he's rolling up against Kyle Gibson. The good news about popping off against Kyle Gibson, he's got 7 at-bats, 5 hits, 2 home runs, and then 5 RBIs against this guy. He's hitting a .714 against Kyle Gibson out there, and it's a plus 190 spot. It's a plus 190 because he's still coming back from that mental block, if you will. The x-ray said everything's good. It's going to take one swing of the bat to go out there and get the job done. I think we see some runs. Let's not forget Ellie De La Cruz leading the league in stolen bases. Candelario is kind of the guy that had to step up in that spot after Fraley went down, but he's got Spencer Steer in front of him as well. All 3 of those guys that I mentioned are hitting 250 or better, and I think it's a great opportunity for this guy who's got the confidence in Kyle Gibson for the bounce-back spot. Are we trying to catch the falling knife? I don't think so. I don't even know what that means, but it's plus 190. I'm trying to catch myself an almost 2-to-1 shot on a guy that hits 714. Get it to me, Sharpie. Let's roll, baby.
Who was that?
Jake Fraley.
I was so on the freaking spiel of everything else about fuck if I'm catching a falling knife. I'm trying to catch me a plus 190.
I mean, it seems like good money out there. These are all great prices today. And, let's roll on. We'll talk about this next game. We got them Blue Jays and them White Sox at Guaranteed Rate Park, and the wind kicking out around 8 miles an hour. Kind of center right, but favorable conditions for hitting. We got ourselves a reasonable summer night here, around 65 degrees at first pitch. 50% precipitation, 70% humidity. Just seems like, despite the low temperature, good conditions for the ball to get flying. And I am not a Kevin Gausman fan, regardless of what the metrics will show. I just don't buy it. I think this guy certainly is vulnerable at any given time. He's sporting a 4.47 ERA for a reason, and he's capable of getting touched up. Here's a new guy. I told you earlier this year, we're trying to figure out the stable. We got to get our stable of fellas right. And here's a guy that's kind of got a fun little story coming in here. Corey Julks. I don't even know if I said it right, but I don't have to say it to play it, my guy. Corey Julks with a plus 225 spot here. What's going on with this guy? Where the hell did he come from? Well, that's funny you ask, Sharpie. This guy got optioned up from AAA Charlotte on his way over from a trade in them Houston Astros. They traded up right-handed pitcher Luis Rodriguez to bring this guy in. And what has he done in this particular situation against Gausman? He's got 5 hits. He's got 5 at-bats, 4 hits, an home run, and 3 RBIs. I butchered it. 5 at-bats, 4 hits, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and he's 800. He's a .8 against this guy. What's he done since he got into this lineup here after getting optioned up from AAA Charlotte? He went 2 for 3 with a homer and a walk against them Yankees on Sunday. That was the previous series coming back. 6 days ago out there, he sees them Blue Jays. What does he do? 1 for 3, 2 ribbies, and a steal out there. They brought this guy in because he's a young, up-and-coming, exciting player to watch. He's got that 800 rolling out there. And here's the thing. We got some late line movement alert. He opened up at plus 235 this morning. As of about 10 minutes ago, he's dropped to plus 225. All the signs that we want to see for a guy out here that should be tremendous value in the 4-hole out there against Kevin Gausman. I'm probably, you know what? I was going to say I'm most excited about this one here at plus 225, but I'm not, because I got to roll into this next spot as well.
Before we get into it, I don't want to burst your bubble, because we're going to talk of some Gausman as well today. That game ain't cracking off, bro.
Is it going to rain?
It's pouring rain, and it's gonna open up even more. But that's just my personal opinion.
Well, let's make a note of this guy here, right? Because I talked about a couple of players to take note of previously. We talked about Singleton the other day with Houston, and
I also checked up his analytics. The dude smashes a fastball, bro, and doesn't miss it. And he's a 2-pitch pitcher, Gausman, fastball splitter, and so that definitely favors the guy, bro. He whiffs it below 13% career-wise to a fastball. He don't miss it.
Just exciting too, because you can get on the ground. Not often can we get on the ground floor of somebody that starts a streak, and I think this guy coming in getting rolling, acquired for a reason. The White Sox are still shuffling parts around there. And, they said, hey, we don't need this pitcher. The Astros probably could use a little extra help in the staff there, especially after what we saw yesterday. And, Framber's still struggling a little bit there. The entire pitching staff for Houston seems to be on alert right now. But nonetheless, if we got to pivot and bring an extra guy in, I'm ready to go. I got the 5th guy ready in the lineup, so we'll give him out there the just in case. But let's talk about another fun matchup, Sharpie. Let's roll on down the block here, and let's talk about, where is it? We got 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Sharpie, where am I going here? I'm going to the old rematch, Marlins and the Padres. What an exciting spot for Louis Arise to go out there and face Jesus Luzardo. Who's seen more pitches than this guy? And what's crazy about it is you look at the numbers, and it's not going to show it. So we're sandbagging here with Louis Arise at plus 250. Great opportunity to kind of go out there against the guy that he used to work with, right? This Miami staff just a month ago, these two guys were probably in tandem in the locker room, although Jesus was injured. Coming back into this game now, we look at it, and we talked about Louis Arise. Last week I talked about him. Crazy home run numbers. He was plus 1,000. Doesn't he go yardstick on last Wednesday out there? Big win for them Padres over the Reds. Then we look at it here as well, and what's he do on Thursday to follow it up? He goes 4 for 5. He gets a ribeye and scores in extra innings as well to beat them Reds again. Point is, he's seeing the ball really well. And then we've got this little, not just the added incentive of, hey, we used to play together. Welcome to the show. But now we got this added incentive of lefty versus lefty. The best hitting lefty on the team for Louis Arise the best hitting guy versus a lefty on the team is Louis Arise. 34 at-bats, 11 hits, 3 RBIs for a 324. Then let's scroll on down and take a look at Jesus himself. Jesus, a.k.a. Jesus, against righties, he's a stellar 197. Against lefties, he's an anemic 310 out there in this spot here. We got 197 righty versus the increased opportunity for the 310 against the lefty. The numbers are going to show you he's only seen him one time. But they've been teammates for how long out there? This is a great opportunity. Plus 250 on our boy Arise to get the job done. That's going to be fun just to kind of see how the former teammate chemistry affects that total operation there. But I think it's a great value spot given that Louis seeing the ball well. He's shown it with his last couple of performances against the Reds. We still don't know about Jesus coming back from, his potential issues. He looks like he's starting to show some command again and some control, but I just think there's a fun narrative inside of there, especially knowing that he is anemic against them lefties. And that should be a fun matchup to watch top to bottom. It's probably going to be a lower scoring opportunity, but anything can happen at any given time. And if it's going to be a guy that gets puked on, I think it's Louis Arise that does the puking out there against Jesus Luzardo. What do you think about that one, Sharpie?
That's ballsy, bro. That takes massive fucking balls to play Luis Arias. A singles hitter down at the front of the lineup, bro. Like lefty on lefty at that, You know where the success. What was the price on that?
Plus 250.
Yeah, that's why you're getting crazy price, bro. Like lefty on, and the Padres are dumb enough to run 3 lefties versus a lefty, which I don't understand that, but they do it.
Well, look at Luzardo's numbers against the lefties, though. You know what I mean? He's certainly shown that he can be vulnerable out there. But look at the bottom of the order. So I talked about this with the Rise before. Do you want him to see the leadoff bomb? Yeah, I mean, then everything's celebrated. We're cashing big numbers, and we're just moving on to the next guy. But go to the bottom of this order. Luis Campusano and then Ha-Sung Kim are 2 guys that are certainly no stranger to get in contact with the ball. And granted, it's that lefty matchup situation out there, but my thought there is the second time through the order, Louis got guys on base. He's got ducks on the pond, and he's just trying to bat something in to get him on home. He doesn't have to go yardstick. He just needs to get a contact out there, get that single, and move Ha-Sung Kim from second and drive Campusano in from third base to get that RBI is what I'm kind of thinking the second time through the order.
Well, to go with you, this year, Jesus Luzardo, first time through the order, 0.45 ERA. Second time, 6 ERA. Third time, 8.6 ERA. So he has technically gotten worse and worse and worse as the games go on. But yuck.
All right, one last one here. In case we don't get some contact, in case we don't have this other game with Julks in play, let's go pivot back to Arizona and the Texas Rangers. We'll take a sweep on back up the card, 8 p.m. Eastern. And look, a lot of folks, in fact, my highest graded play of the day is the Arizona Diamondbacks. So take that for what it's worth as it relates to this game against the Texas Rangers. Not a Dane Dunning fan. I'm not a Brandon Pfaadt fan either, but I believe in Pfaadt more than I believe in Dunning in this case. And the guy that I want to pick on here, I'm going to take a look at Jock Peterson. You know, you look at this lineup and what's going on here. I've been fucked so many times by this Arizona team in the 4-hole, and I see Christian Walker sitting down there, 4 at-bats with 2 hits, but excuse me, give me some Jock Peterson. Again, not to be chasing a guy that's, you know, kind of found his peak, but this guy's consistent on this team particularly. Again, that lefty situation. A lot of people get scared of that lefty-righty. I'm not so scared about it. This lefty hits righties better than anybody else on the team. He's got 114 at-bats, 34 hits, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs, and a 2.98 running out there. Then we look at his recent performance. 3 for 3 with a double and a pair of RBIs on Sunday afternoon. That was a huge win against them Tigers. What's big about that is them Tigers tend to be lower scoring plays out there. So, you know, big opportunity for that win. You kind of look before that, a couple days prior, they were playing them Dodgers out there. We just talked about the Reds beating them up. Well, so did Arizona. Jock Peterson goes 2 for 5, gets a hit and a 3-run homer in the 7th inning. So this guy's just not getting pinched hit. He's getting maximum at-bats. We're going to see, you know, 3 to 4, if not a 5th out of this guy out there to be able to get the job done for us. Now, he is priced at that plus 145 spot. He was the first guy on the cutting room floor because I was more excited about the rest of these matchups. But if we don't see Jolks go, then let's give Peterson the shot to go out there and give him the blow. I think it's a good opportunity for us to go Jock P, baby, at plus 145.
Bro, Jock Peterson is one of the few signed jerseys I got. It's a World Series one that he wore. And, yeah, he's strictly a platoon guy versus righties. He cannot hit lefty. I believe he has like 190 freaking, maybe it's 190, 192 homers in his career. All but 15, bro, are versus a right-handed pitcher. Like, he crushes right-handed pitching. Lefties, he's always had a problem with. So, you got to love Jock versus a righty.
I think it's a great matchup for us, guys. I'll give it to you top to bottom again. We got Adley Rushman at plus 165, Jake Fraley plus 190, Louis at plus 250. In case it goes, we'll take Jolks at plus 225, and if it don't go, then we still like Jock Peterson. You want to play them all? Yeah, I like all 5 of these guys here. I think it's a great opportunity, but depending on where you want to cut that card, I think it's a great spot for us to get paid tonight. We've been heating up. We talked about May 10th, Sharpie's birthday being the transition point of the baseball season. And here we are 18 days later. We're firing with these ribeyes and expect it to continue on tonight, Sharpie.
Bro, I'm at that point of my life where I want to break my fucking computer because it has froze on me. I can't touch anything, and it's just sitting there. So I'm going to be here until they freaking throw me off. If they kick me off, I guess, in the middle of this, I'll be jumping right back on a live stream. But I can't even kick you off or go to anything right now. So, you know, tell these fine young people what you got going on, where they can find you, and hopefully my shit starts working.
Hell yeah. Follow me over on X, you guys, at PimpSlapPOD. Lots of things on the horizon. You guys know we do last call, 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, giving out them goods, trying to find plays to cook the books. We got more happening as well over on YouTube. So I started a channel inspired by my guy, Sharpie. And we're taking off, man. We do some Saturday streams. More content literally coming down the pike as of this week. So we're going to go out there and give some more daily picks as well. And we got the UFC. We've got some golf spots out there, some of them niche sports to try to get you guys paid for those that want to get involved in some big opportunities. On top of that, we'll give you guys some plays of the day, early afternoon baseball spots, and everything else to get things moving in the right direction as we try to get through the workday. We try to get some cash before we come home and smash them bookies on the evening slate, Sharpie.
Man, I appreciate you as always. I'm really frustrated right now.
Maybe my computer infected your computer. Who knows?
No, bro, I've got too many things, I guess, up. I don't know. It does this to me like 10 times a day. It's really annoying. It never really happens while I'm in the middle of a stream, but I was clicking on fan graphs and this and that and this when you were talking, typing up shit, and too much shit was going, and it said, I don't even know if I'm frozen. So, I mean, at least they can hear me, right?
You're not frozen. I can see it moving around. So, For what it's worth, you're dancing. I see you dancing. He's dancing.
All right, bro. We're good. We're dancing. We're dancing, guys. So we're just gonna keep these backgrounds up while I talk because I have no way of changing them at the moment. And just take yourself off for me, Mike. And
got it, bro.
I'll talk
guys
some
soon, man.
baseball.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas. Sorry about the technical difficulties I have going on right now. But we're here to talk a little baseball. We still got 3 more pitchers to talk, and we had a lineup come out as well. And I get why they moved it to a 6.5 juice. Now, it sucks that I got a 7 and there's a better number and all that. But still, I would still bet the 7 if I have to. But if you want to get in on Scooble, take the 6 and the team total altered to the under. And get in where you fit in, as I do believe this guy has 7 or more strikeouts. Now, Brian Hayes did come off of the IL. He is a tough guy to strike out. So, realistically, we've got 6 guys we can strike out. That's still 2/3 of a lineup. That's still something I would run. But that is the reasoning of the line move behind Scooble. Now, let's talk Kevin Gausman. Where my guy who was just on here thinks Kevin Gausman's a bum, and that's okay. People are allowed their opinions. Once again, my opinion could be wrong. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. But Kevin Gausman gets the White Sox. He's striking people out this year, 28. And now we're back. And I could fuck with everything again. I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties. Sharpie's computer smoking dope. And yeah, I'm going to run me a quick little video and get this all set back up.
And just to get a piece.
3-2 pitch, a fastball. Come on now.
Yeah, now this is getting ridiculous.
How do you miss that
That's
pitch?
terrible.
The big league umpire
That is brutal.
cannot miss a pitch like that.
Well, he's missed a ton of them.
You can't.
It's just embarrassing.
Townsend's out. He
That's
should
terrible. Yeah, he should be. So should he. So should the ump.
Man, I should have been out with them bunk-ass motherfucking internet I got. So I'm going to start Gausman over, guys. Gausman gets the White Sox, who over the last 15 days, they are not walking. They're striking out 28% of the time while having the worst isolated power in the league. So let's go see who they've seen that I would bet on in that time span. Corbin Burns, 6 innings while punching out 6. Jose Barrios went 6 innings with 6 strikeouts as the lineup said under, yet the ump said over, and he hit his over. Luis Gil of the Yankees had himself a day of all days, striking out 14 in 6 innings. And those are the only guys that I would look to bet. So they shouldn't be striking out more than 28%. They're seeing some freaking middle of the pack to end of rotation type guys, and they're putting these people down, guys. And now we got Gausman after his best start of the year, where he looked to be back, guys. He generated 18 whiffs on the night while striking out 2 in 3 different innings, while allowing 1 runner fewer in 5 of his last 7 starts. All of his pitches say they're up where they should be, at least to 2 years ago spin rate, to its break. And we're getting plus money on his K prop. You know, we got to check 2 things when we see something like that don't add up, guys. And plus money to a team striking out 28% of the time is sure a red flag. As the past history isn't much, guys, as just 4 guys have at least 5 at-bats versus Gausman, combining in 50 altogether. And they are just striking out 18%. At the moment, guys, they don't have Maldonado in this lineup, but if they do, that K percentage does go up to 23. Still not the best, guys. So 18%, that can be a reason that they do drop it. Now, another reason why they can't drop it, guys, is the rain. And when we go look at the rain, guys, it shows us that there is a lot of rain, and when it comes, that it's not going to stop coming. So, even if they try to start this game somehow, go 5-6 innings and call it, it don't matter if you're on a Gausman prop, because they're not going to cash you out unless they go 8.5 innings. And at the moment, guys, I don't think this thing has a shot at going no 8.5 innings. Now, I do want to play me some Gausman. I hope they come back at it tomorrow in a doubleheader. And then in a doubleheader, maybe they can sit some of these guys, because Benintendi and Lopez, those two guys don't strike out to this man. And yeah, like he said, Jolkis, but me personally, I don't look at 5 bats as anything. Now, I like to look at what they do struggle versus, and Jolkis don't struggle versus the fastball, but you can get them versus the split. Now, I just want to see how they construct their lineup, guys, at the end of the day, and I want to make sure it doesn't rain, and we get a better lineup to pick on if we have a double header. So I really do hope that they push Gausman back to tomorrow, as Gausman has actually pitched better throughout his career with that extra day's rest as well. 2 guys left, guys, and we got Cole Ragans at the Twins. Striking people out this year 30% of the time while walking people 8% on the year. Morning line, 6.5 plus 148 on FanDuel. No, that ain't him. Oh, no, that wasn't. It was minus 148 on FanDuel, where the best line available now is 6.5 minus 130. For some reason, I had a plus. It was minus 148 this morning, and it's gone, I believe, all the way down to minus 130 since the lineups have come out and dropping. Pitching outs are 17.5 minus 125, juice to the over. Earned run 1.5 minus 120 each way. Projected lineup is 9 righties, 0 lefties. They came out with the lineup, and it's not what they projected, so I still got to go run it and look at it, but I'm pretty sure it's still 9 righties. But got to make sure that, though. Let's check it real quick. Hit the refresh button. Minnesota. Ready. Okay, cool. Yep, all righties are switches, which means righties, guys. Like, oh, he's a switch hitter. He's not going to fucking hit lefty on lefty, bro. So let's talk about it. Ragans gets the Twins, who over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties, they're not walking, striking out just 21% of their at-bats with a middle-of-the-pack isolated power. Now, if you don't know, guys, I go back 200 plate appearances versus a lefty and never passed a month. And we had to go back a month to get us the plate appearances we needed. So who've they seen in the last month that I would bet on? Logan Allen, 6 innings of no-run ball, struck out 7. Carlos Rodon, 6 innings, 1-run ball, struck out 6. And Garrett Crochet on his second game of a back-to-back in these numbers, where he went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, and struck out 7. So yeah, guys, these numbers are just a tad bit fraudulent. At least where I look at them, guys, as they ain't scored more than 2 runs off anyone worth mentioning, and no one has had less than 6 that I would bet on. So can we take the 6.5, even though the juice on it was real this morning, guys? And Ragans is real too, is the thing is that I'm getting at. I wanted to make sure the lineups came out. The lineups came out in the middle of this show, guys. I wanted to make sure we didn't get lefties, as Ragans is an ace. But unlike most lefties, guys, who dominate their own side of the plate, his career strikeout percentage versus lefties is just 22% compared to a 27% versus the right-handed side. So we did get us all 9 right-handed bats, which will favor us a K-prop to the over. As I got hooked on Ragans last week, guys, in the same type of situation that I'm looking at here versus the Twins. And no, I don't mean by a team who's striking out. As the A's were striking out, that's why he got pushed to a 7.5. And the Twins are not striking out, is hence why we get a 6.5. Now, what do you mean by the same situation then, Sharpie? Is the Twins, like the A's, do not whiff at a fastball for the most part, guys. And they whiff at the off-speed pitches. And what I mean is, are you an ace? Is can you get to the 2-strike count? because I need you to get to 2 strikes for your off speed to play versus these type of lineups. Now, I want to run this lineup as Miranda is in it and Vasquez is in it, but I'm going to tweet it out if I pull the trigger, and the trigger is only going to be one way, and that's over. It's, do I want to take it to 6 with the team total under as well? Because this, like the Scooble game, lefties don't get less than 6, and they don't score more than 2 earned runs off of him. So DraftKings will allow me to play as earned runs, but they have it at 1.5, huh? Yeah, fucking cucks. Can't even get away with a 2.5 to the under with his earned runs. So, yeah, it's either over or nothing on the 6.5, guys. And maybe just parlay the 6 to whatever else you want to today, guys, because this dude's getting 6. 7 shouldn't be an issue either. I just want to make sure I run this lineup before I tweet it out. As, yeah, baby, it's Cole fucking Raggins Day. Who don't like a little Cole Raggins?
Strike 3 call. And that time the plate got a little wider, and Recker's been thrown out of the game.
In this kind of that's Angel. Angel's got a quick fuse.
Well, Recker complaining that Hernandez was at a wide strike zone all night, made it a little wider, and he's getting himself in trouble now and to take up the case.
I hear you. Cover Kings on Rain will be gone by 7:38, but they don't normally start these Eastern games at 8 o'clock, bro. Like, they'll just push it off to tomorrow if it gets. They did that with Shota the other day. It just got too late, and I personally don't think they're gonna go. If they do go, I'll have the lineup ran, as it's already won. And yeah, I'm looking for a little Gauzy over today, guys. Another thing to take in with Gosman is live betting. Live betting. If you got DraftKings, if you got legal books, guys, that's the spot to take advantage of some of these guys. He gets his feel with the splitter guys in the first inning or the second inning. The time to get the Gosman is early, because if he gets to cruising, it's to get to smacking him live. Look at his pitch count. Look, make sure he's around 15 pitches per inning. If he's at 2 innings, 2 strikeouts or 1 strikeout, 30 pitches or less, oh, that's when you go slam the Gozer, bro, because that's when the split's coming, guys. And that's when it came last week as well. Let's talk about the good old Zach Wheels, baby, the Wheels, where this line has moved, but I expected it to move. Zach Wheeler at the Giants, striking people out 28% of the time while walking people just 7.5%. Morning line was 7.5 minus 105, and now you can get a 6.5 minus 130 on FanDuel. Pitching outs is at an 18.5 minus 130 juice to the under, and earned runs are at a 1.5 minus 135 juice to the over. Projected lineup is 6 righties, 3 lefties, but we're going to get into that projected lineup, and it looks like it's 5 righties, 4 lefties. Wheeler, guys, he gets the Giants, who over the last 15 days have been one son of a bitch to hit a K-prop over. As they're walking top 3 in the league, only striking out 17% of their at-bats with a top 8 isolated power. And they've seen some guys. No, they're a bottom 8 isolated power. They ain't been hitting. They're just not striking out. Paul Skeens went 6 innings, 1 earned run, yet had 3 punch-outs with a cuck of an umpire. Jared Jones went 6 innings, 3 earned runs, while only punching out 5. Gavin Stone went 6 innings of 1 run ball, yet just 2 punch-outs. And Yoshi went 5.2 innings, gave up 4 earned runs, and struck out 6. And we have a few series with the Rockies tied in between. Nobody has had more than 7, let alone they opened this dude at a 7.5. People hammered the under. That's why it moved to a 6. No, that's not why it moved. Let's talk about it, fellas. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Okay, let's talk about the Wheels then. Wheels, guys, he's seen them back on May 6th. Granted, it was a moving day lineup. He still did the damn thing. He went 7 innings, punched out 11, and I get why the books are not. They're not freaking budging on Wheeler today. As yes, no one has had 7, let alone 8 versus this team in the past 15 days. Yet we got us a past history as well, and that's where it comes into, guys. As I expect Wade to be into the lineup now that it's changed, because Wade in his 7 at-bats has not struck out. He was considered day-to-day, and he wasn't in the projected lineup this morning. And and I wrote in my write-up, like, if this moves to a 6.5 juiced, it's because Wade is in the lineup. And that telling me right there that the line moved before the lineup is even put out tells me that Wade is playing today, guys, as lineup construction will be key for me if I do play the over 6.5 on wheels today. As Flores, Wade, and Matos, those are going to be the guys tough to strike out, and I want to make sure they're not too bunched up at the beginning. Now, we get into some really nasty numbers, guys, as it's a career 32% strikeout percentage versus this lineup. But yet it's pretty skewed, guys. And that's why I'm talking about lineup construction. As Estrada, Chapman, Soler, and Yaz has seen him at least 6 times, combining in 43 at-bats. Wheeler has dropped the hammer on them 4, striking them out over 50% of the time. That's fucking nuts, fellas. Nuts. 4 of these guys in a decent chunk of plate appearances, every one of them, he's hammering them every other at bat. So you want to put those guys towards the top of the lineup, as well as some bum named Ramos and Luciano at the back end? I'm saying a bum because they could be got with a fastball slider. It's only over or nothing, guys, as, the studs versus the Giants with a fastball slider combo have gotten 7 or more every time, whether it's going back to Glass now at the beginning of the year, whether it's going to Cease, whether it's going to Wheels. The studs have gotten 7. The younger pups have gotten popped. Christian Scott got popped. Jones got popped. Talking their strikeouts. Skeens popped. Not one of them came close. Wheeler ain't a young buck, guys. He knows how to attack these type of guys. This team is one of the most patient teams in baseball all year and over the last 15 days. They make you throw strikes. Wheeler throws strikes. Wheeler don't walk people, guys. Wheeler's got a 1%, 1.5% better walk rate than league average right now, guys. So if you give him anything, a neutral up to a pitcher's up, they should have left it at 7.5, guys. So 6.5 minus 130 tells me that Wade is in the lineup. No funny shit's going on with that. That lineup was projected without Wade. Now the lineup tells me Wade is in it, just like I expect the Peralta line to move if Madrigal gets put in it, guys. Certain people will move the number. You got to understand it, not just chase line moves. Understand the line moves. All right, guys. Appreciate you all, as always. And, until next time, remember, today's show was brought to you by the retirement of Angel fucking Hernandez, one of the worst umpires to ever ump the game, a killer to us overbetters, a murderer to you underbetters, a piece of shit gone forever.
Called strike 3, and Schwarber is thrown out of the game, and he had zero issue with getting thrown out. Making it very clear, you've missed him inside, outside, up and down. Kyle Schwarber thrown out.
Especially on a team like this.
And the 1-1. Angel Hernandez is in midseason form.
Yeah. Let's not make this game too fast, Angel.
And just to get a piece.
3-2 pitch, a fastball.
Come on now. Yeah, now this is getting ridiculous.
How do you miss that
That's
pitch?
terrible.
The big league umpire
That is brutal.
cannot miss a pitch like that.
Well, he's missed a ton of them.
You can't.
It's just embarrassing.
Townsend's out. He
That's
should
terrible. Yeah, he should be. So should he. So should the ump.
Strike 3 call. And that time the plate got a little wider, and Recker's been thrown out of the game.
In this kind of game. That's Angel. Angel's got a quick fuse.
Well, Recker complaining that Hernandez was at a wide strike zone all night, made it a little wider, and he's getting himself in trouble now to take up the case.
3-2 pitch. It's low and in. Ball. Oh, they said he went around. He's going to be out of this game if he keeps this up. He is out of this game. I got to tell you, naked eye, he did not swing at that. Dusty's going to stand in.